Hi there, welcome to Fun with Scratch. My name is Benji, and today we'll be learning how to use loops. So, first of all, I'm going to create a new project, and we're going to do what we always do. We're going to change the title from untitled to, let's just call it loops, because that's what we're going to be creating. So what is a loop? Let's start with an example. Say I wanted my sprite to wait 1 second and then walk forward 30 steps. I can do this by using the wait 1 second block under the Control tab and the move 10 steps block under the motion tab. So if we put these blocks together under when flag is clicked, that's how we start. So Control cat wait a second and then drag out this block, move 10 steps. Change it to 30. So now the cat's gonna, when the flag is clicked, the cat's gonna wait a second and then move 30 steps, just like that. But what if I wanted my sprite to do that again? So I can drag out those two blocks again. If I want to, I can just add wait 1 second, and then another move 10 steps and change it to 30, and it's gonna do it again, right? It's gonna wait 1 second, move, and then wait 1 second, and then move. But what if I wanted to do my sprite to do it 3 times, or 4 times, or an infinite number of times? So we can use loop blocks to help us with that. A loop block can be used to repeat an action multiple times. Instead of dragging the same block over and over again, we can use a loop block to shorten our code. Let's try it out. So I'm going to move out this second cycle and move this a little bit. We'll start by heading over to the Control tab on the left side of the screen. Here we have a bunch of different options of loops. Okay, so let's start out with a repeat 10 times loop. To use the loop, let's drag it out under the when flag is clicked block. Now we can put our two action blocks inside of the repeat 10 times loop. So this one, put it under the when flag is clicked, and then put your action blocks in there. So now, when the flag is clicked, it's going to wait 1 second, move 30 times, but then repeat that 9 more times for a total of 10 times. Notice the white arrow at the bottom. This arrow lets us know that whatever is inside of the loop will repeat. So our two action blocks inside of the loop will repeat 10 times. To make it a little bit quicker, let's change it from 10 times to 5 times. So just change that number right there to 5. I'm just going to drag the cat back to the middle. Now you can use code to, move it back to 0, 0 when flag is clicked, but I'm just going to drag it. So let's look at some other loops we can use. Oh, actually, let's try this first. Let's just see what happens. Look at that. It's waiting 1 second and moving 30 steps, but it repeats that 5 whole times. So that's the loop block. Okay, great. But notice that our sprite starts moving off. Oops, sorry. Yeah, let's look at some other loops we can use. What if we wanted our sprite to keep doing our action over and over again? We can use the forever loop. So I'm going to take this out of the loop, drag this out, and then use the forever loop. So now the cat's just going to keep waiting 10 seconds. I'm going to drag it back to the middle again. It's going to keep waiting 1 second, pardon me, and moving 30 steps over and over forever. So you'll notice what's going to happen to the cat. It just goes right off the screen. Great, but notice that our sprite starts moving off the screen. If we don't want that to happen, we can use our third type of loop, the repeat until loop. So this loop is a little bit more complex. To use this block, we will need the help of another block under the blue sensing tab. The blue hexagon blocks under this tab are called condition blocks. If we drag one of these condition blocks into a repeat until loop, the action will repeat until that condition is met. So let me just drag out that repeat until loop. This one right here, drag this one out. I'm going to put my action in. So let's drag the touching mouse pointer block into the repeat until loop. So remember, go to the sensing. Now these are conditions. So drag this touching mouse pointer block into the repeat until loop. Now let's change it from touching mouse pointer to touching edge. Now touching edge means it's just going to, once it touches the edge of the screen, this loop is going to stop, hence repeat until it's touching the edge of the screen. Okay, so let's put all of our action blocks in the loop as they are. and then click the flag. So watch, it's going to wait 1 second, move 30 steps over and over until it's touching the edge of the screen, and then it stops once it touches the edge of the screen. Perfect. Now once you get the hang of loops, you can try experimenting with different blue hexagon condition blocks. For example, you can use the touching color condition or the key space pressed condition. So this one or this one. But for now, the repeat 10 times loop, the forever loop, and the repeat until loop are 3 great loops you can use to help build cool projects in Scratch. So, a simple loop we can code together will make a sprite endlessly follow your pointer or cursor on the screen. Think of it like a cat chasing a mouse. Take a second to look through the blue motion blocks in the left menu. Which block should we use to make the sprite turn and face towards our pointer? So, go to motion. What block do you think would be best if we want it to face towards our pointer? Look at all of these. So the best block to use is the point towards mouse pointer block. So I'm going to drag it out. And then we're just going to put this away for now. I'm going to put this under when flag is clicked. Now, since we wanted to actually follow our cat, I'm going to drag this back to center, we're going to use a move block. So now when the flag is clicked, the cat's going to point towards the mouse and then move 10 steps. See? Now it actually turns towards that mouse. Every time I click the flag, it moves 10 steps to the mouse. Are we done? So, it stops. Why does it stop? If we want the sprite to come closer, we can keep clicking on the code like I just did, and it will continue to face towards our pointer and take 10 steps. But we can also make a loop so that the sprite follows our pointer constantly and we don't have to click every time. So do you remember the 3 types of loops? I'm going to go to the Control tab. Now look at these loops and find which one would be probably best if we want the cat to endlessly follow our mouse. So did you guess right? The best block to use is the forever loop. In the left-hand menu, scroll down until you find the orange control blocks, click and drag on the forever block on top of our two blue blocks. So I'm going to put these into the forever loop, and then put it under when flag is clicked. So now let's try it out. I'm going to click the flag. Oh, look at what happens. So now, wherever I move my mouse, the cat follows. Now what's interesting about this is maybe you want the cat to be a little bit slower. So I'm just going to move, say, 2 steps. So now, in this loop, the cat's going to move 2 steps at a time. So look, it's much slower than it was before. And then maybe if I change it to, say, 30, it'll be crazy fast. Really, really fast. It like catches up with your mouse really quickly. So, we finished our code. Now that you know how to make loops, you can code more easily and quickly. Your computer knows how to repeat instructions, so you don't have to. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for watching Fun with Scratch.